After 2 years of deep sleep, I woke up only to find out that I've suddenly become a father. As the strongest dragon slayer, I somehow managed to make the silver dragon queen a mother. She even sent our daughter away, locked me inside the room, and pushed me down with one swift motion. With a surge of magical energy glowing in her hands, she was about to engrave her exclusive dragon mark on me. Gah! I'm the greatest dragon slayer. You can't do this to me. Leon Kasmid. He was once a legendary dragon-slaying hero. At the age of 5, he killed a vicious dog with his bare hands, catching the attention of a passing master dragon slayer, who took him as an apprentice. At the age of 10, he entered the Empire's Dragon Slayer Academy to further his studies. And 4 years later, he graduated with the highest honors and youngest age in history. At the age of 15, he stepped onto the battlefield, slayed countless evil dragons, reclaimed lands, and earned great merits for the Empire. Leon was hailed as the strongest dragon slayer, the Empire's only hope to lead them to victory and end this war. Until he became a prisoner of the Dragon Clan. 2 years had passed by now. At the moment of waking up, he felt as if he'd just had a terrible nightmare. Still shaken, he found himself gasping for breath. Looking around the lavishly decorated room, Leon couldn't tell whether this was heaven or reality. The door gently pushed open, and a little tuft of hair peeked through. Leon focused his gaze and saw a small girl entering the room. "Oh, you're awake." The little girl was innocent, with big watery eyes that made even Leon dumbfounded. So cute. Leon's mind was filled with endless thoughts, thinking to himself that it was only because he had contributed so much to mankind that he had arrived in heaven. "You must be the legendary Angel." "Angel? What's that?" Even though the adorable little girl in front of him denied it, Leon was absolutely sure of one thing. She had to be his guiding angel. Leon squatted down and asked her name. "Hello, little angel. What's your name?" "Muin." Her big, sparkling eyes and round, chubby cheeks made her so irresistible that anyone would want to pinch her. "Muin? That's a wonderful name." However, something didn't sit right with Leon. But the color of this angel's hair is rather odd. Black mixed with white? Mom says it means the moon. However, something didn't sit right with Leon. While the girl was undoubtedly cute, the more he looked, the more he felt something was off. Angels have moms too? Leon introduced himself to the little angel. "I'm Leon Kasmid." "I know, Leon means lion." When hearing his name, the girl joyfully raised her arms. "Who tell you that?" "That's what Mom said." "Huh?" Leon grew increasingly uneasy. No way. A disturbing thought crept into his mind. For confirmation, he asked her a simple question. "May I ask, who exactly is your mom?" Roswitha. Hearing her answer, Leon petrified on the spot. Your mom is Roswitha. Then that means I'm... The girl Muin seemed confused by his reaction. You're my daddy. Leon was completely shell-shocked. He had just woken up after a long slumber, only to find out that he was now a father. The strongest dragon slayer's faith in everything he knew began to crumble. The strongest dragon slayer couldn't accept such shocking news for a moment. Ah, Mommy. Just as Leon was on the verge of mental collapse, Muin turned her gaze toward the doorway. Leon also turned his head cautiously. Mommy, Daddy's awake. I know. Entering the room was none other than the Silver Dragon Queen Roswitha. Seeing her mother, Muin wagged her tail with excitement. Roswitha's face lit up with a sly smile as she looked at Leon. You've finally woken up, Leon. Muin clung to her mother's slender figure, and Roswitha, peering down through her proud chest, affectionately looked at her beloved daughter. Mommy must be happy too, right? Because you visit Daddy every day. Of course, honey. She spoke softly, but Leon knew this wasn't as simple as it seemed. As if I'd believe that. Seeing that sly smile on her face, Leon's heart was filled with an overwhelming sense of dread. Muin, why don't you go play outside for a bit? Mom has something to talk to your dad. Okay. After sending Muin out of the room, Roswitha stepped closer, her movements confident and commanding. As Leon caught sight of the trembling waves of her chest, the once invincible dragon slayer found himself taking a few steps back in fear. Muin, is she really my daughter? What do you think? Obviously, she's our child. As the Silver Dragon Queen inched closer, Leon, the dragon slayer hero, was driven back, step by step, into the room. In one swift motion, Roswitha's tail coiled around the door and locked it, sealing his escape. You should hate me to the core. Why did you give birth to the child? Why did you bring me back? Cornered and powerless, Leon continued retreating, his voice betraying a clear lack of confidence. You've been asleep for 2 years. 2 years ago, after what you did to me, did you think you could just get away with it? Roswitha, with a hint of seriousness on her face, said what Leon did to her 2 years ago. You think I wanted to do that? Humans and dragons are natural enemies, and destined to never coexist. If it had been up to me, I'd have rather died than laid a finger on you. In the previous chapter, Leon was still in control. But now he's the one panicking. Being revived by Roswitha means that at this moment, he's got no cards left to play. Oh? So touching me is torture for you too? Isn't that obvious? Despite having no means left, Leon still had to put up a brave front. He resisted stubbornly. However, the next moment, Roswitha's dragon tail coiled around his legs. Immediately after, Leon was ruthlessly thrown onto the bed. Leon's mind raced with panic. He had no idea that Roswitha was coiling around, like a venomous snake at this moment. Her claws tore through his clothing with cold precision. "I'm going to carve my dragon mark onto your body. Stop, Roswitha." Faced with the overwhelming pressure of her ample chest bearing down on him, Leon was also feeling a little overwhelmed. The mysterious allure of her presence was like an abyss and drew him in. How could anyone resist? "It will be your eternal shame, marking you as my prisoner forever, unable to escape me for the rest of your life." A glowing magical mark began to appear on Leon's chest. The legendary Dragon Slayer, once the pinnacle of strength, was now reduced to being Roswitha's plaything. When your fellow humans see this mark, what will they think? Will they still see you as the great dragon-slaying hero, or as a traitor who defected with the dragons? With a smug smile, Roswitha declared her victory, her confidence soaring as if she wielded an uncontrollable power. On her own chest, the same magical crest from Leon's body had appeared prominently. Why go to such extremes? Leon couldn't fathom the situation. What kind of punishment or reward was this for her? It seemed to offer her no clear benefit. Roswitha suddenly approached Leon. "Don't you understand yet, Leon? The concept of revenge among Dragon Clan has always been a perplexing issue for human scholars who research Dragon Clan. Their revenge is a blend of obsession, extremism, and behavior that transcends human understanding, something truly inhuman. I want you to live in this shame for the rest of your life, to be humiliated by me, completely, forever." Roswitha loomed above him, looking down at the man who had humiliated her 2 years ago. Now, she was ready to return the favor 1,000-fold to him. This feeling, under the influence of the magical crest, Leon's consciousness began to fade, his vision growing dim. Roswitha gradually moved closer to the man in front of her. "Now, let's get started." For the Silver Dragon Queen Roswitha, turning Leon, the greatest human dragon slayer, into her slave and closest companion. It was the ultimate revenge. To humans, this might seem unfathomable, but for her, this was the true vengeance of a dragon against a dragon slayer. Being squeezed like a peanut by the Silver Dragon Queen. I'm really going to turn into peanut crumbs, nothing at all. For the sake of my safety, I have to escape this cursed place quickly. However, after breaking out of the castle, I ended up getting spotted by Roswitha. That escape route was just a trap she set. It was as if she wanted to crush my will to resist. She brought me back to human territory, aiming to break me and subject me to endless humiliation. No, as the strongest dragon slayer, my will, as Leon, will never be crushed by Roswitha, not even under the control of the dragon mark. The weather is very good today, with sunlight shining on the Silver Dragon Castle. There was a sound of conversation coming from somewhere inside the Silver Dragon Castle. The Queen seems to be in a good mood today. Oh, haven't you heard? Her husband is awake. two dragon maids were walking over not far away, discussing happily about Leon waking up. However, bah! That she-dragon actually advertised to the public that I am her husband. You have no idea how terrifying that she-dragon is. Leon hid behind the wall, eavesdropping, his body already much thinner. Because right now, he was like a peanut that had been squeezed multiple times. Faster! Come on, Leon, faster! Just thinking about that terrifying scene, Leon's body started to tremble. She drained me for a whole day and night. My waist is about to break. For own future and physical health, Leon clenched his fists tightly. I, Leon, will never stay here quietly and become her plaything. Let's get to it. Seeing the nearby guards, Leon began to formulate a plan in his mind. There are 4 dragon guards at the side gate. Escaping from here is nearly impossible. However, at that moment, Leon felt confused. But why are there so few guards at the Silver Dragon Sanctuary today? It feels completely different from when I came in 2 years ago. It is eerily quiet. Just then, Leon noticed something. Why is there such an obvious hole here? That's right. Leon pushed through the grass and found a hole in the wall. Could this be a trap? Leon looked at the hole in front of him, just big enough for a person to squeeze through, and felt a wave of anxiety. He patted his head. It doesn't matter. I have to get out of here, no matter what. Even if it's a trap, I'll fight my way through. Even though he had been missing from human society for 2 whole years, Leon believed that as long as he could get back to that place, everything would be all right. Let's get to it. He bent down and crawled into the hole. With every step forward, he could feel the scent of freedom growing stronger. Goodbye, crazy she-dragon. As for the little dragon named Muin, she's all yours. Muin stood on tiptoe, watching Leon's every move and excitedly shared with Roswitha. Mom, look! Dad is crawling through a dog hole. He's amazing. Roswitha was lying on the chair beach and looked up to see what Leon was doing. I see. He is really impressive. Muin clasped his hands together and naively said to Roswitha, "So, when will you go fetch Daddy back, Mom?" Roswitha placed a finger to Muin's lips, whispering a warning. Muin, you can't use words like fetch when talking to Dad. It's really impolite. Her expression darkened, and she uttered something even more chilling. You can say, catch him back. It had been a while since Leon crawled out of the hole and escaped. He was sprinting across the lush green grass, the soft glow of the sunset igniting his fighting spirit. Once I cross these mountains, I'll be at the borders of human territory. However, he still stopped and looked back. After running this far, that she-dragon shouldn't be able to catch up, right? Roar. Leon was startled. That was a familiar dragon roar. As the strongest dragon slayer, he could never be mistaken. Roswitha. He looked up and saw a giant dragon covered in shimmering silver scales, rapidly diving toward him. Roswitha opened her dragon mouth wide and shouted loudly at Leon. "Wow, you can really run, Leon!" Just as Leon was about to continue his escape. But Roswitha suddenly flew in front of him, blocking his path like a massive mountain. "Is playing with me like this making you happy?" Even though he knew this would happen, Leon couldn't help cursing aloud. Roswitha lowered her head and stared closely at Leon. I'm quite satisfied, actually. Don't you think this has all been too easy? Who helped you divert the guards and leave you that hole to escape?" Leon's eyes revealed serious expression, looking nervously at Roswitha. "Even if I know it's a trap, I have no choice. I just didn't expect you to catch up so quickly." Compared to the huge silver dragon in front of him, Leon felt like a tiny speck. What can do you now that you get back to human territory? You already bear my mark on your chest. Do you really think they'll still see you as a dragon slayer? Leon tried to refute Roswitha. "Then I'll start my life over as an ordinary person. It's better than being tormented by you." And those words undoubtedly struck a nerve with Roswitha. "Huh, you're really ungrateful." The Silver Dragon Queen spread her massive wings, whipping up a powerful gust of wind around them. She grabbed Leon in her palm and took off into the sky again. Leon attempted to break free from Roswitha's dragon claws, but unfortunately failed. "Let go of me. Where are you taking me, she-dragon?" "Well, since you're so eager to go back, I'll make it happen for you." Roswitha soared from dusk to night. 3 hours later, they arrived near the border city of the Empire. Without a word, the Silver Dragon Queen dropped Leon from high above. If it weren't for the trees breaking his fall, Leon would have definitely turned into a puddle of mush upon hitting the ground. As expected, when Leon landed, he ended up in a position resembling a sprawled duck. Ouch! Rubbing his head, Leon felt something was off. He opened his eyes and was stunned to find the scenery in front of him incredibly familiar. The small town at the Empire's border was right in front of his eyes. Leon looked at the scenery in front of him with some surprise, unable to believe that he had really returned here. Is this a human town? Yes, that is the human empire over there. Roswitha had transformed into her human form and stood aside, looking at the town with great interest. Leon looked at the familiar town in front of him and couldn't help but shed tears. Seeing a long-awaited human town, do you think you can just cross over and return to the human world? But Leon, you can't go back, even if it looks close at hand. Just then, the pattern on Roswitha's chest reappeared. Leon nervously looked at his chest. The mark on his body also manifested, and he suddenly felt that something was not right. Oh, I forget to mention. When two people bear the dragon mark, it reacts whenever one of them wants to connect with the other. Upon hearing this, Leon stumbled back in fear and accidentally bumped into the trunk of a large tree. Roswitha walked forward step by step and touched the dragon pattern on Leon's chest with her hand. You must be feeling a heat all over. An unbearable urge by now, right? Are you trying to do it here? Roswitha's lips curled into a smirk. Her expression showed that she was full of confidence in her plan. That's right. Do you know why I brought you here? I want you to understand what true humiliation is in front of your homeland, so close to it. Leon tightly grasped his clothes with his hands. Do you think I would lose my resolve because of that? To Roswitha's surprise, Leon's gaze at that moment revealed an unexpected determination. He grabbed Roswitha's hand and said to her, I'll wait patiently for the opportunity to come. When that time comes, I'll make you pay back all the humiliation you've inflicted on me. Double. Seeing such a defiant Leon for the first time, even Roswitha couldn't help but be taken aback, staring blankly at the handsome man in front of her. She lowered her head and chuckled lightly. Ha, okay. However, it seemed Roswitha anticipated Leon's reaction, and she slammed him back against the tree. I'll be waiting for you, no matter what.